Our planet is full of amazing creatures that we don't even know about. I love learning about new animals, and I know you do too. If you are looking to learn about some of the weirdest animals in the world, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll talk about weirdest animals. Watch, and let me know which is your favorite. Start now. 1. Chinese water deer. They're found in native to China and Korea but introduced in UK. They are 18 to 22 inches tall, 2.5 to -3.3 feet length, 20 to 30 pounds weight. They eat tender herbs, immature grasses. Can you imagine seeing a small deer with no antlers but with really long fangs? You'd probably think you were dreaming or reading some fantasy novel, but these Chinese water deer do exist. They are sometimes called vampire deer, but you won't catch them sucking blood or wearing a black cape. Their real name is Chinese water deer because they prefer living around rivers and swamps. Native to China and Korea but introduced into the United Kingdom, these strange-looking deer feature other odd traits. The males are territorial and use their long fangs to stab each other when fighting. Weird animal Chinese water deer females can give birth to up to 8 babies, which is more than any other deer species. They're also excellent swimmers and can even swim several miles at a time. 2. Mouse deer, Chevrotain. They look like a miniature-sized deer with fangs. They're found in Asia and Africa. They're 1.7 to 1.8 feet length, 3.6 to 12 pounds weight. They eat mostly plants, but the water species will eat insects, crabs, and fish. If you think the Chinese water deer is weird, let me tell you about the mouse deer, with other name as Chevrotain. They are about the size of a small dog but with long, skinny legs and tiny hooves. They are the smallest hooved mammals in the world. Mouse deer Chevrotain also like deer, they have multi-chambered stomachs. However, unlike deer, they don't have antlers. Instead, they do have long, slender fangs. They also have a fascinating tongue that they use much like a gecko. They slap their long tongues on the sides of their face to clean it. So, why are they called mouse deer? Well, like mice, female Chevrotains have a knack for staying pregnant. They only give birth to a single baby at a time, but they're able to mate again within a few hours after giving birth. Thanks to their frequent pregnancies, most Chevrotains are classified as least concern on the Conservation Index. Other unusual features about Chevrotains include being to hold their breath for up to 4 minutes, and they're known to escape predators by diving underwater and walking on the water bottom. 3. Pangolin. They're only mammal that's covered in scales. They're found in India, China, parts of Africa, Southeast Asia. They're 12 to 39 inches length, 4.4 to 7 pounds weight. They eat mostly ants and termites. The size of a house cat, pangolins are the world's only mammal that's covered in scales from head to toe. It has a small head, a long snout, and a long, sticky tongue that extends up to 16 inches. It uses this tongue to catch and eat up to 20,000 ants a day. Pangolins don't have teeth, so they swallow stones to grind up their food. They have poor eyesight but exceptional senses of smell and hearing that help them hunt ants and termites. The pangolin is known for curling up into a tight ball to defend itself against predators, but unfortunately, that doesn't stop it from being one of the world's most trafficked animal. Why are pangolins endangered? This shy, nocturnal mammal of Asia and Africa is widely hunted for its meat and scales, which are used in traditional medicine. 4. Naked mole rat. Naked mole rat have pink-skinned, mostly hairless, independently moving teeth, cold-blooded. They're found in Horn of Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Somalia. They're 5.1 inches length, 1.2 to 2.8 ounces weight. They eat roots, tubers. The naked mole rat isn't really a mole or a rat. It is pretty freaky though. It has wrinkled pink skin with short hairs on its head and tail. These hairs act as a sensory organ that helps the naked mole rat find its way around in the dark, underground tunnels in which it lives. They're also cold-blooded. It's true, not all mammals are warm-blooded. When oxygen gets low in their underground tunnels, they simply lower their body temperatures to conserve oxygen. In fact, they share similarities with plants. Their bodies start using a different kind of sugar to keep them alive, called fructose. Normally, mammals use metabolize glucose. Fructose is a sugar that can be metabolized without using oxygen. Found in eastern Africa, naked mole rats live in colonies much like ants and bees. Each colony has a queen with soldiers and workers. They're also resistant to cancer, can survive 5 hours with little oxygen and can live up to 30 years. Naked mole rats also have huge incisors outside of their mouths, so they can move dirt without having to eat it. These teeth can move independently, like weird chopsticks. This is one weird mammal. 5. Bat-eared fox. They have enormous ears and found in Africa. They're 18 to 26 inches length, 7 to 12 pounds weight. They eat mostly termites but also ants, moths, spiders, grasshoppers, crickets, scorpions and the occasional small bird or reptile. My, what big ears you have! You can't help but notice the bat-eared fox's large ears when you first see this small fox. They stand out but also serve a couple of important purposes. They're filled with blood vessels that regulate heat and keep the fox cool. The ears also provide the fox with such incredible hearing that it can actually hear beetle eggs hatching out from dung balls. Preferring the short grasslands of the African savanna, bat-eared foxes live in family groups where they sleep, play and social groom together. These tawny-furred animals with their bushy tails and dark face masks love feasting on termites, which makes local farmers very happy. When they're not foraging, they like to lounge under acacia trees. 6. Colugo. It can glide through the air. They found in Southeast Asia. They are 14 to 16 inches length, 2.2 to 4.4 pounds weight and they eat leaves, young shoots, flowers, fruit. Some people call the colugo a flying lemur, but this tree-dwelling mammal is not really a lemur at all. It has a thin membrane of skin between its legs that enable it to glide as far as 230 feet. Colugos spend most of their time in the trees of tropical rainforests in Southeast Asia, either sleeping during the day in tree hollows or foraging at night for leaves, fruit, and flowers. Even though they're tree dwellers, these shy, nocturnal animals don't climb very well. They make their way up the trees by hopping and gripping onto tree bark with their sharp claws. 7. Etruscan Shrew. It's world's smallest mammal. They're found in Europe, North Africa, Arabian Peninsula, Asia. They're 1.2 to 2 inches length, excluding tail, 0.046 to 0.088 ounces weight. They eat insects, earthworms, small lizards. This tiny, brown-gray, mole-like animal measures only about 2 inches long and usually weighs less than an ounce. The Etruscan shrew may be itsy-bitsy, but it can eat nearly twice its own body weight each day. It hunts and feeds mostly on insects and earthworms, but if it's really hungry, it will even hunt small lizards and rodents that are in equal size to itself. If the Etruscan shrew experiences a food shortage or extremely cold weather, it has the ability to lower its body temperature and temporarily hibernate. It also has an extremely fast heart rate with about 25 beats per second. 8. Pink fairy armadillos. They're world's smallest armadillo, and it's pink. They're found in central Argentina. They're 3.5 to 4.5 inches length, 4.2 ounces weight. They eat ants, worms, snails, larvae, plant material. Growing only to about 2 inches in length, this strange, nocturnal creature is the smallest armadillo in the world. It has a dorsal shell that appears pink due to visible, underlying blood vessels that regulate the armadillo's body heat. To adjust to environmental factors, this little armadillo's blood flow increases or decreases, which can cause its color to change as well. Sounds magical, doesn't it? Maybe that's where fairy part of its name comes from. Beneath the shell, the armadillo has a silky, yellowish-white fur and 2 sets of claws that appear massive in contrast to the rest of its body. These claws help the armadillo to dig burrows into sand so quickly that it's nicknamed a sand swimmer. 9. They're largest nocturnal primate and has a third eyelid. They're found in Madagascar. They're 14 to 17 inches length with 22 to 24 inches tail, 4 to 6 pounds weight. They eat insects, larvae, fruit, seed, fungi. What is that scary-looking creature? Supposedly, that's how the got its name. Naturally found only on Madagascar, the ii is a primate like apes and monkeys, but a primate unlike any other, about 2 feet long and weighing around 5 pounds. The ii is regarded by locals as a terrifying animal with dark fur, creepy claws, a third eyelid, and yellow eyes that glow in the dark. The ii is also the largest nocturnal primate in the world and the only primate to use echolocation, using echo sounds to find their way around in the dark. Unlike other primates, a female ii can reproduce for as long as it lives. After giving birth, a mother will sometimes carry her baby in her mouth when she senses danger. 10. Solenodons. They have long, flexible snout. They're found in Cuba and Hispaniola. They're 11 to 13 inches length, 1.5 to 2.2 pounds weight. They eat insects, worms, small vertebrates, fruits, vegetables, fruits. Solenodons look like cartoon characters, smell like goats, and sound like pigs and birds. Oh, and they're one of the only venomous mammals. Unique among mammals, these weird animals occur in 2 different species on the islands of Cuba and Hispaniola. In addition to their beige and brown fur, long, scaly tails, and tiny eyes, they have flexible, elongated snouts that give them the ability to eat anything they sniff out from the ground, like roots, insects, and worms. They're clumsy and can trip over their own toes. Glands in their groins and armpits secrete an odor that makes them smell musky like a goat. If threatened, they grunt like a pig or cry like a bird. If that doesn't scare away a predator, they can inject venom through their grooved teeth. Solenodons are also nocturnal, foraging for food at night and sleeping in burrows or hollow logs by day. Thank you for watching. We stop here. We'll continue with more part about strange animals. Remember, subscribe us.